Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. We appreciate it. Here we are together again on the radio. And I want to speak to those of you out there who are living under the thumb of another individual. You know, in our society, we are constantly barraged with propaganda about controlling men. Men who want to control women. And the reason you hear about that so much, it's because it's like the old line, man bites dog. Because women control men much more than men control women. And the reason is simple, because women have vaginas. And unfortunately, so many of our men out there have low self-esteem. And once a woman talks to us or takes her clothes off for us, we quote-unquote fall in love because we feel like this may never happen to us again. This may be the last one we get. There may not be another one after this one. And so frequently we just simply give in. And then once we've given in, bit by bit, we give away our individuality. We give away our essence. We give away the things that make us interesting. The things that make us interesting to others and the things that make us interesting to ourselves. We give it away. We give it to women who take from us. Now, you heard me not too long ago talk about women being dream killers. If you have a dream of becoming something or making something of yourself, don't plan on doing that while you're in a relationship, because the woman you're with will feel threatened by this and will try to thwart it. Well, I tell you boys to stay single as long as you can. Do not get married beforehand, because a woman will stop you. I must tell you, I had a conversation the other day with, of all people, believe this or not, I had a conversation with my first wife the other day. Talked to her over the weekend. And she'd seen my name in the news and contacted me. That's what happened. And so I spoke to her. And it got me to thinking back to when I was with her. You know, why do I tell you not to get married till age 25? It's because I speak from experience. I got married at 18. Now, keep in mind that when I was 18, I was in college. I was attempting to pay for it myself. I did not engage my girlfriend at the time, later my wife, to help me pay for it. And ultimately, I went broke and had to quit. And when I quit, what I should have done, because I wanted to get into this business I'm in, I should have left my hometown at the time, New York City. I should have gone to a small town somewhere and started developing a radio act. I should have been on the air somewhere doing something. But instead of doing that, I did what many of you do. I got a day job. I got a day job. I used to be a telephone solicitor. I used to work in a boiler room. And for 8 hours every day, I got on the phone and called people cold and tried to get them to buy anything from land in the Poconos to land in the Catskills to advertising in Jewish newspapers. I sold cable TV and HBO on the telephone. I sold furniture on the telephone to soon-to-be newlyweds. And pretty soon, a couple of years had passed, and you know what? I hadn't done a radio show. I hadn't been on the air. I hadn't worked in the radio business at all. My career was at a standstill. Now, the person I was with was not evil, but she also did not want to move to a tiny town somewhere. She did not want to leave New York City and go live in a small town where I would hone my craft, develop my act, learn how to press the buttons, whatever you have to learn in this business. She was not interested in that. So rather than fighting about it, I just kind of put that off in my mind until one day, I wasn't 18 anymore. Now I'm 21. I don't have a college degree, and I have not nearly enough experience. And then she was pushing me to start having kids. Had I continued to let her limit my life, had I gone along with what she told me to do, which was she wanted to have children and she wanted to start immediately, had I done that, I would not be standing here talking to you now. Now, I got divorced when I was 21, so I have not seen this woman in a very long time. This brought back a flood of memories about things where well, put it this way, my life would be very different today had I done what she wanted. And it is why I tell you, don't let another person tell you what you can and can't do. Don't do it. The minute somebody tells you they don't like something about you, you have to tell them the following. That's who I am. Take it or leave it. And you have to have the balls to withstand the possibility the person will leave because they really can't stand it. You'll be surprised how often they just will tolerate it. They just needed to hear you tell them that they have no choice in the matter. Women test us all the time. They ask if they look fat in that dress. They ask what celebrities we find attractive or beautiful. Who are the hottest chicks? These are all test questions. Anybody who's ever heard a woman say, "So that's what you like," you know what I'm talking about. I'll never forget one time I told a woman I thought Salma Hayek was beautiful. "Oh, so that's what you like." I never heard the end of it. Every time she was on TV, "Oh, there she is. There's your girlfriend. So that's what you like." Shut up. Just shut up. Never let somebody steal your essence. Never let someone tell you what you can and cannot do. These people who say, "My girlfriend lets me look at porn," or "She lets me watch football," shame on you. Shame on you. It's outrageous. And it took me several go-arounds with women. I'll be honest with you. I did not know this instinctively. I was one of those guys when I was 18. I couldn't believe how lucky I was, getting laid all the time. Oh, my God. How lucky am I? And I ultimately married the woman who was the best lay I'd ever had at the time. How great was that? But pretty soon you find out there's no free lunch, and she's going to want you to do things you don't want to do. It's that simple. And then you have to have the balls to say, no, I'm not changing that about myself. And I have found over the years, the more I tell women, no, I'm not giving up hockey. I'm not giving up baseball. I'm not giving up jazz. I'm not giving up what I love. I'm not giving up quiet time to read. I'm not giving up drinking with the boys. I'm not giving up drinking wine with dinner, having a wine collection. Not giving it up. The more I have said that, the more respect I have gotten, not less. And you know what? Anyone who can't stand those elements of me shouldn't be around. They shouldn't be around me. They should be with somebody else. They should not be with me. Most of us don't have the guts to make somebody go away. But you know what? They should go away if they don't share our values and they don't share their, put it this way, they don't love us for who we are. And we are what we love, and we are our friends, and we are what we do. We are our hobbies. We are our passions. This is what we are. I had to tell somebody who used to go with me to hockey and complain about it. I had to tell her, there will never, ever be a time when I'm going to give this up for you. So you are going to stop nagging me, or you're going to stop coming with me. I'm going to go with my friends, and I'm not going to go with you, and that's it. You have to have the balls to say that, and most men do not. You know what? If you don't like the places I eat, if you don't like the fact that I like sports, if you don't like my friends, if you don't like the fact that I love wine, if you don't like the fact that I like going to sporting events, if you don't like that stuff, go away. Get out. It's that simple. Go. And I'd be willing to bet a lot of you boys out there tonight who just don't have the balls to say that, and you are living as a prisoner.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. Tom Leykis.
What is sex like with someone who's 260 pounds?
Soft.
The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Let's say hello to Jerome on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hey, Tom, how you doing?
Okay.
You didn't ask me, did I care? I do care. And I enjoy your show. I'm part of your new affiliates here, and I think your show is great.
Thank you.
I think that people will call in and have a dissenting voice that might make it more interesting. For instance, it sounds to me your opinion is kind of colored one way. I may not be part of your demographic because I am married, but it seems to me that you're excluding out the fact that two married people can work together and compromise. That's the key point here, compromise. It doesn't mean losing yourself, but you can compromise and make...
I think the more you have to compromise, the worse your marriage is. By the way, I might add that 1 out of 2 marriages ends in divorce.
Correct.
And in the part of the world where you and I live, in Central and Southern California, 2 out of 3 marriages ends in divorce.
So are you anti-marriage?
It's not that I'm anti-marriage. I've been married 4 times, okay?
Okay.
So I have a lot of experience with this.
Right. Yeah.
But I have found over the... I used to believe opposites attract, and I used to believe marriage is about compromise. But I found that the more you compromise, the more likely it is you're with the wrong person.
So you don't believe marriage is compromise?
I believe that's propaganda. It's anti-male propaganda.
Well, no, I don't...
Because you're going to be the one compromising.
No. Women compromise, too. I mean...
What do they give up? They get
women?
your money.
Well, they give up more...
They get to tell you what to do.
Actually, wait, let me back you up. My wife, this doesn't, demasculinize me. Sorry, I'm stammering. She makes more money than me, Tom. And if I get divorced, I could actually go after hers. And we compromise all the time. No, I wouldn't. And
there you go.
That is part of our culture, No. I don't think that makes me pussy whipped either. I think
of course it does.
Mr. Arquette compromised. It made his wife uncomfortable with the new child coming into her.
She knew who she was marrying. It was 16 years of history. She knew who he was.
But it comes down to, if it's more important for any of these cats calling and saying, I'm not giving up nothing for my wife, if it's more important to have your porn rather than your wife, you're an idiot.
You have your wife. Porn does not replace your wife.
It's making her uncomfortable. It's going to be one more rung in a dysfunctional...
I say tough luck. If your wife is pregnant and doesn't feel like having sex, you need an outlet. Better to use porn than to use another woman.
Oh, I agree. But she wasn't asking for it. You're saying when you're a father, this is possibly something you would...
I don't think there's any relationship between being a father and looking at pornography. At all.
Oh, I agree. I'm a father, and pornography is not something I necessarily enjoy like yourself, but I don't think there's any relation unless you're a deviant and you're using the wrong kind of pornography. If it's something that stimulates you, fine. But I don't...
What is the wrong kind of pornography, if you don't mind my asking?
Child porn?
All right, that's illegal. All right, you're talking about illegal things.
But those are considered pornography, unfortunately. But they are something that make you a deviant.
Well, Playboy is not child pornography.
I don't believe so.
Hustler is not child pornography.
And I don't believe that he should.
Most pornography is not child pornography.
Right. I don't believe that he should have necessarily given that up. But in his marriage, it was the appropriate thing to do.
I don't agree, because I believe that once you give in on something like that, you'll be told other things you have to do. By the way, she did not ask him, according to the story. She made him do it.
Well,
that's not compromise. That's a dictatorship.
But that's a story, Tom. I mean, I don't know.
I don't. Well, you know what? This is supposedly a quote from David Arquette.
But you don't think that's overly simplified? I'm sure they.
I don't know. You know what? I'd like to know, but that's why I use people I know personally as examples who told me, yeah, my wife lets me watch hockey. My wife lets me watch porn. My wife lets me watch football. What is that all about?
Well, yeah, you don't let your spouse do anything.
Well, that's not the way a lot of people see it.
Well, no, then they're...
Language, you know what? I'm a professional in the language business. Okay?
Yes, you are.
That's what I do.
Right.
And I think every word that people say has meaning.
I agree.
And you can read a lot of what is not being stated directly through the use of prepositions, verbs, and pronouns.
Right. And I agree.
And when a woman... It's the example I gave earlier in the show. And that is when a woman says, I don't want your friends in my house. That says two things. One, she's going to try to take away all your friends.
Right.
Two, if you get divorced, she's going to take your house. Because it's her house.
Yeah.
And saying my house instead of our house or the house has significance.
Right.
People don't see these red flags.
Right. Well, I agree. I think that words mean a lot. And if in your relationship people are using inappropriate words like let, hopefully someone's intelligent to say, hey, you don't let me do anything. We work together at this.
But that's not what most people say. That's not how most people feel.
That's true.
And most women, not all, most, start dictating. Because I'll tell you why they do it.
Okay.
Because they get us to sign a contract known as a marriage certificate that essentially says this is the only vagina you're going to get. And I'm going to control the flow of sexual activity here.
Right.
And therefore, now I can tell you what to do.
Well, I believe, like you're saying, yeah, that's insecurity. If a man believes that this is all he can ever get, a woman may play on that. But I think this whole thing stems from insecurity.
I think that's why a lot of men get married, to be honest with you.
No, I mean, for instance, myself, and I may not be part of your demographic again. There's nothing insecure about me. I don't exude any insecurity.
Well, I'm glad you're not insecure, but I think most people have very low self-esteem out there, I'll tell you that.
The Tom Leykis Show. This is the Tom Leykis Show.
It is 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's Caesar on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Caesar.
How are you?
Do you care?
Oh, yes, I care, man. You're the man.
Well, thank you so much. I'm doing great.
All right. Well, I want to talk to you about a girlfriend that I have.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I met her, when we met, she liked baseball and she liked music. The music I listened to, metal. Okay. It wasn't so bad at first. She would go with the games with me and everything. But then after a while, I started noticing that she would say stuff like, do we have to go to the baseball game tonight? Do we have to watch that tonight?
Yeah, tonight's when it's on.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's when the Dodgers are on.
Yeah. Like tonight's the night the game's on.
She would say that. She would say, it's not a World Series game. You don't have to watch it. Then I knew that was big red flag. And then the biggest one was, she told me, you know what? I want you to give up all your stuff, sell all your guitars, all your amps, and just stop playing that music and listening to it.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man, I told her to get the hell out.
Good for you.
I dumped that bitch.
Most guys don't have the guts to do that.
Well, a lot of guys they think that's the best and that's the only thing they're going to get.
Yeah, well, you're right about that. You're right about that. That's what it's all about. A lot of guys think they're not going to meet another chick again. Yeah. Never going to get a chick take her clothes off again. Never going to meet a hot chick again.
Exactly. It's an insecurity issue.
There are so many of them out there. And believe me, you'll be walking around with a little chubby there after you kick some bitch out. You're going to be, the testosterone's going to be flowing. You're going to be ready for another bitch after that.
You're right about that.
Bottom line, I don't think we've ever had two Caesars in a row. Caesar, you're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Orale, Tom. How you doing?
Doing okay.
Listen, man, it's depressing what you're saying, but it's very, very true. I have a sad story, man. I was married for 4 years. Same things that you're saying about the vocabulary. This is mine. This is mine. And I actually married a woman with kids, single mother.
Oh boy, big mistake.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was a big mistake. I mean, I listened to your show about a year before, and I really didn't pay attention, which was my bad. And I mean, I know now exactly what you're talking about. Everything that you've been saying is just fitting the foot.
Mm-hmm.
But check it out. Everything was, I accepted her kids, and she made me promise me, her that I was going to accept them and treat them fair and treat them like mine. And the house, it was ours. Everything was ours in the beginning.
Sure was.
Then, when we got married, it was, my kids and my house and my car and my this and my that. So I said, you know what, you want it? If they're yours, then they're yours. They're not mine no more. And I dumped that bitch.
And did she go for the house?
No, well, we're renting an apartment, but, I was still paying for it,
Yeah. Yeah.
But, I said, you want everything here? Then you take it over, and it's yours. I have nothing to do with it no more.
How'd she react when you dumped her?
At first it was kind of mutual, stuff was just getting too hard. We're arguing and bickering so much that we decided to split up. And then in that little period of time that we decided to split up, I just said, you know what, it's not going to work at all. It hasn't been working, it's not going to work at all. So,
and how did it feel when you got out?
Oh man, it feels so damn good. And check it out. This month I should be receiving the final divorce papers.
Really?
Yep. Anytime this week.
Good for you.
So I just want to say to all the guys out there, listen to Tom. He knows what he's talking about. Even if you think I know better, you don't. You do.
Thank you, Caesar.
All right.
Appreciate the call. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. This is Aaron on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great, Aaron.
Okay, I have a question. And it brought me up to think about it when the gentleman from earlier said about the child pornography. I had given up my home state to come out here because my husband and I were dating at the time, and he had gotten transferred here to Colorado. And I said, that's fine, you go ahead and move, and we'll make it work. And then we ended up getting married, and then I moved out here, and I left everything. And everything in our relationship seemed okay, and then I just had some weird feelings, like something was actually going on that I needed to find. And on his internet site, I found porn, child porn. And I didn't know what to do about it. I mean,
by the way, did you meet him on the internet? How did you meet him?
No, I did not meet him. We used to work together in the past.
I see.
Yeah.
All right. So you found child porn.
Yes.
And then what happened?
Well, I kept further looking and investigating, and then I kept finding more, and I did confront him about it, and he denied everything. He denied everything.
Everything.
Everything about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there was proof. I had proof. I mean, I found it in his favorites. I had seen proof of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just outraged, upset. And we don't have any kids yet, and I'm thinking, what if we do have kids?
Mm-hmm.
And I was just... And then I let it go, and this is the first time I've really had to think about it in a long time. And we were going to go to counseling. I was either that or I was going to move back. And once things start getting better, then you put off the counseling and everything else. And I don't have any feelings that he's been doing it lately. But I did give up, a lot of my dreams. I mean, but he doesn't.
Why'd you do that?
Mine.
Why did you do that?
Because I loved him, and I wanted to come out here and move out.
Yeah, but what? You didn't love you.
You
know what? You didn't love you. You didn't love yourself.
Yeah, I guess at that time.
And you know what? You're not going to like what I'm about to say. I believe if you don't love yourself, you also don't love anybody else.
I do love myself now. I mean, and it took a lot.
You just told me how much you gave up.
Yeah.
What did you give up? Tell us.
I gave up family and friends, and now my mom's dealing with cancer down there. And, it's like I'm living in another state now. And it's hard for me to be around all that when everything's going on, when I gave up a lot for him. And then I find out things that he was doing, and then I'm like, who is this person? I thought I really did know him, And there is a big age difference between us also.
How old is he?
He's 43, and I'm 24.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just like, what if we have kids? I mean, is there a chance that something might happen? I mean,
Yeah,
I mean,
do you think that's a reasonable concern?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I do too. And then you forgot about that. So now you not only don't love yourself, the kids you haven't had yet, you've sacrificed there.
Yeah.
Because you believe that this could be a problem. And you forgot about it. Your kids aren't even born yet. And you don't care about them.
Oh, I do.
Well, if you did, you wouldn't be sitting there on your thumbs doing nothing.
Now, what do you think I should do?
What do I think you should do? Well, dear, I don't believe you really love this guy.
I do.
I don't.
And I think that's why I put up with it.
Dear, when you're putting up with stuff like that, it means you don't love yourself.
I know I do love myself.
Really? So your family, your mom has cancer, your family's far away, your husband has a child porn fetish, and you're afraid that might have an effect on kids you'll have, but you decided to overlook that. Yeah, you love yourself.
And I never thought I'd put up with,
You have been putting up with it. You've been putting up with it. You've been putting up with it. Where's your dad?
Where's my dad? Down there.
Yeah, he should be kicking your ass. Does he know any of this?
No, but my mom does.
Yeah, what does she say? What does your mom say about it between chemo treatments? What does she say?
Oh, well, I mean, this was last year when I was dealing with it, so we haven't talked about it.
What did she say about it when she knew about it?
Oh, she was very, very worried about it, but I'm surprised she even still does like this guy because of it, because her daughter,
Wow.
And
so you're surprised that your own mother likes your husband?
Yeah, and she let me know if I needed anything, if she needed to buy me a plane ticket or whatever to go down there. That's fine. But I think she wanted me to be able to try to work through our marriage. So, it took her over 20 years to throw the towel in on her and my dad's relationship. It took her a long time.
You know what, dear? Maybe you have something in common with your parents.
Yeah.
Ever think about that?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Maybe you're doing the same thing she did.
Yeah.
Maybe the same result will take place.
Yeah.
Do you want that?
Very different circumstances. My dad was very suicidal, and that's why.
Darling, it doesn't matter what his baggage was. Your mother tolerated it.
Yeah.
And now you're tolerating baggage.
Yeah.
And is your mom happy after 30 years of marriage now, having to be on her own, having cancer, all that stuff?
No, actually, she's married to a wonderful man now.
Mm-hmm. Hang on a second, Aaron. John, what do you want to say to Aaron here? We lost John there. All right. Well, Aaron, you heard what I have to say about this. I think you're in deep denial. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a doctor. I just have a lot of life experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear the sound of your voice. You don't sound very happy.
No, I was happy until the guy kind of reminded me, and I started thinking about the dreams and put it together, and I went, oh, God, I should really see what you had,
You gave up what were your dreams?
I get worked up when I think about it.
What were your dreams, darling?
I want to be an interior decorator, and actually I'm about to go back and do that.
You're about to go back?
Uh-huh.
What does that mean, you're about to go back?
I'm about to go back to college. I'm not to college.
When are you about to do that?
About to pursue my dreams.
What month are you going?
Well, the school month just started, so I'm going to have to go back next semester.
Have you registered?
No.
Why not?
Because I'm still looking into the different colleges around to see what my options are.
Oh, God. You better step it up there.
Yeah.
You really need somebody to come in and kick your ass. You think I'm kidding? If I was your dad, I'd kick your ass from one end of Colorado to the other. You kidding me? It's a problem. You don't have anybody kicking your ass.
Yeah.
You need your ass kicked.
My husband tries to do it, so I can pursue my dreams.
Yeah, but between looking at pictures of 9-year-old girls with their clothes on.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
I don't think he's doing it anymore, but, you never know.
Right.
He could be waiting for me to just forget about it and then start it up again.
Or he could be doing it and just finding other ways to hide it.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Doesn't that creep you out when you're in bed with him?
Yeah. That's probably why we don't have much of a sex life.
And you don't have a sex life. So you're really happy. Let's review. You gave up your dream. You left your mother, who has cancer, in another state.
But she didn't have cancer at the time.
No, but you're not there with her. Yeah. And the rest of your family and friends.
Yeah.
You're with a guy who secretly likes to look at child pornography.
Yeah.
You would like to have children, but you're worried that the guy likes child porn and that could cause a problem.
Yeah.
And the guy's 20 years older than you are.
Yeah.
And that probably plays into the whole thing.
Yeah, and it kind of creeped me out since there's an age difference. I'm like, well, is that why he likes me? You know.
Well, dear, if you have to think about things like that, Paul, what do you want to say to Aaron here?
What the hell is wrong with you, lady? You need to turn that guy in. What, are you crazy? He's sitting there looking at 9-year-old. You don't do anything about it?
Yeah.
What's the matter with you?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? What are you that pathetic?
Not pathetic, no.
You're not pathetic? You sound pretty pathetic to me. You let your husband get away with this kind of crap? You need to turn him in. It's illegal in the state of California even to download that or to possess it. What, you sit there and stick around with this guy? Don't you know every time he's boning you, he's thinking about it like an 8-year-old child? What's the matter with you? Have a little respect for yourself. You make me sick.
All right, Paul and Aaron, thank you.
Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Dan. Hello.
Hey, I don't understand how anyone is willing to give up something they enjoy, love, anything. If I want to look at porn, I'm going to look at porn. If I want to eat a big cheeseburger or something, I'm going to eat it. And how can anyone give up the stuff they love, no matter what it is? I just don't understand how anyone would let a woman, a friend, anyone, turn them down from that. Because especially if it's a woman, if the woman, tells you you can't do it, you're still going to do it. You're just going to go behind her back and do it.
Well, in some cases that's true, and in some cases guys just puss out.
I don't know. I guess I'm lucky enough to have buddies that, aren't that way. I just don't, yes, I do have a buddy that, he's like, okay, she doesn't want me to do it, that's fine. But this is the guy that's got the trunk of his car, puts any adult magazine store to shame. And it just blows my mind that there's, so many guys out there, and I just moved to Seattle, and, how many guys here just puss out, and then there are the guys in the corner of the adult bookstore, just kind of like, oh, wow, yeah. I just don't understand it. How you would give up something you love.
Well, you keep hearing these people calling in. It's amazing.
Tom Leykis.
Okay.
1-800-5800-TOM. Tom.
If you date a crazy man, crazy things are going to happen. My father used to tell me, if you live in a junkyard and you open your windows and say it stink outside, well, move.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
All right, we have time for one more call here really quickly. Tamber on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. How are you doing today?
Okay.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Well, I've been listening to your radio show for about a month now. I'm glad to say that I really enjoy it. Man actually speaks his point of view. I just wanted to say I've been married for 15 years. I'm 38 years old, and I have the best husband in the world. I don't take anything from him. I let him do what he wants, when he wants, in and out of the bed. Now, I don't know about the other ladies, but...
Well, it's what we always say on this show. There are exceptions to every rule. Well, the fact that there are exceptions to a rule doesn't mean it's not a rule.
The Tom Leykis Show.